MTR Corporation to offer half-price fares after being hit with a $19.2 million penalty over a 5-hour service suspension on the Tseung Kwan O line last week. The Immigration Department is considering raising fees for some services, including passport renewal. And U.S. President Donald Trump delays a proposed 50% tariff on imports from the European Union. Good evening. You're watching Cable News. I'm Evelyn Bai. The government has mandated the MTR Corporation to compensate passengers $19.2 million over its latest incidents affecting commuters, including a 5-hour service suspension on the Tseung Kwan O line during last Thursday's evening rush hour. Kun Ting-yang reports.
Tens of thousands of passengers were stranded on the platforms alongside the entire Tseung Kwan O line for hours after an apparent short circuit in overhead cables, causing extreme inconvenience and public outrage. Transport Secretary Mabel Chan, speaking at the Electrical Subcommittee meeting, expressed strong disapproval, adding that the government is highly concerned and disappointed over the incident. In addition to submitting a report on the matter within a month and improving its services, the MTR will also give passengers a 50% discount on rides on a special fare day, Chen said. MTR Managing Director Jenny Yuan apologized for the incident, promising to give affected passengers extra reward points. However, lawmakers slammed the rail operator for not showing sincerity with their minimal compensation. Legislator Gary Chen accused the company of shifting blames every time an incident happens, while Connie Lam questioned if a $19 million fine is adequate, as she proposed a 3-day fee exemption on the affected line. In response, Yuan said the company will seriously review and improve its incident response capacity and enhance information dissemination. She also pledged to compensate affected passengers regardless of cost. Kun Ting-yang, Cable News.
The Immigration Department is proposing to raise fees for multiple services, including SAR passport application. Bess Leung has more details.
Fees for 28 services may see the first adjustment in many years, including the application fee for a 32-page SAR passport for residents aged 16 or above, rising from $370 to $430, marking a 16% hike and the first increase since 2006. A 48-page passport, which fees have not been adjusted for 25 years, may soon cost $520. The surcharge for sending an SAR passport overseas via mail or courier will also be raised, with express services to North America and Europe seeing the biggest rise, surging by more than half to $310. Meanwhile, fees related to identity card services will not be affected in this round. The Immigration Department projected that once the new fee schedule is implemented, its revenue will increase by about $104 million per year. The department stated that it has taken into consideration the cost recovery and the user pays principle while initiating the new fees. While also taking into account the response from the public, it is not feasible to adjust all fees and charges to the full cost recovery level in one go, and had therefore set the rate of increase for the current exercise. Following the review from the Legislative Council, the Immigration Department will then amend the related ordinances, with the new charges expected to take effect in September. Bess Leung, Cable News.
Authorities said Hong Kong will help mainland's advanced standards for chest pain treatment centers go global, while Beijing pledged to support the city in providing healthcare services to the world amid rising unilateralism. Bess Leung reports.
At the opening ceremony of this year's Hospital Authority Convention, the Chest Pain Treatment Center at Queen Mary Hospital received the national accreditation plaque from mainland officials, marking the establishment of the city's first national accredited chest pain treatment center. Delivering a speech at the ceremony, Chief Secretary Eric Chan said with more Hong Kong hospitals obtaining national accreditation, the standard of healthcare services in both the mainland and the city would be enhanced.
2 hospital authority public hospitals were accredited under the China's International Hospital Accreditation Standards in December 2024 and March 2025, respectively. And 3 more hospitals here will begin the accreditation process this year. The Hospital Authority, I'm pleased to say, is contributing to the internationalization of China's national hospital accreditation standards, improving overall healthcare quality and benchmarks in the Greater Bay Area.
Meanwhile, Vice Minister of the National Health Commission Zhao Xue said he has full confidence and high hopes in the development of Hong Kong's healthcare industry, expressing hope that the SAR will actively participate in global health governance under the support of the country. The 3-day event staged at the Convention and Exhibition Center in Wan Chai has attracted more than 8,600 participants from around the world and the mainland, sharing knowledge and insights at more than 60 sessions. Bess Leung, Cable News.
Hong Kong businesses are spearheading a push into the Middle East's $2 trillion economic diversification drive, with 59 deals struck during Chief Executive John Lee's trade mission to Qatar and Kuwait earlier this month. Our reporter Quentin Yang explores how local businesses aim to leverage this momentum. Here's what he got.
Chief Executive John Lee's mission aligns with Gulf nations' ambitious shift to diversify beyond oil, a transition backed by a $2 trillion investment pool. For Hong Kong, its strength as a global financial hub is its best edge to cut into the regional markets, according to Mark Holder, founder of a consultancy advising Gulf firms.
The kinds of training that are required are primarily around the topics of risk and financial markets and trading. Financial markets, that's a relatively new occurrence, all right? And so as such, that's what's happening there in those markets now. And so they're coming to Hong Kong for that expertise.
Holder also stressed that the benefits are bilateral.
I could see, various kinds of arrangements or deals being made with the local financial firms. Saudi National Bank is huge, all right? And so is, Qatar Investment Authority. They're absolutely massive. And so I could see Hong Kong benefiting from doing business with those firms by offering trading opportunities and things like that. And so as such, Hong Kong can benefit bilaterally, so people from Hong Kong can go there to work, and vice versa. They can come here to learn about our markets, to also go to our universities. We have some world-class universities here in Hong Kong.
Beyond finance, Hong Kong acts as a super connector bridging Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds with mainland green tech ventures, said Edward L., the Southern Region Managing Partner of Deloitte China, that secured 4 deals during the mission. This synergy amplifies interest in Hong Kong's ecosystem, while channeling Gulf capital into Asia's growth sectors, L said. Hong Kong's trusted legal system, tax neutrality, and world-class financial infrastructure has made it an ideal bridge for Middle Eastern wealth entering Hong Kong. Meanwhile, the partnership also unlocks the region's $2 trillion diversification drive for Hong Kong. Amid global uncertainty, Hong Kong not only mitigates risks, but also builds alliances that secure its role as Asia's indispensable financial hub. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
U.S. President Donald Trump has agreed to extend a deadline to negotiate tariffs with the European Union until July. Trump made the decision after receiving a phone call from President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. Sachin Kadvi tells us more.
She just called me, as you know, and she asked for an extension on the June 1st date. And she said she wants to get down to serious negotiation because I've told you specifically, but I told anybody that would listen. They have to do that. And we had a very nice call, and I agreed to move it. I believe June 9th would be, July 9th would be the date. That was the date she requested. Could we move it from June 1st to July 9th? And I agreed to do that. And that she said we will rapidly get together and see if we can work something out.
Last month, the US president announced a 20% tariff on most goods from the European Union, but later slashed it by half to 10% and allowed time for negotiations. However, last week, Trump expressed frustration with the pace of negotiations and threatened to impose 50% tariffs on imports from the EU starting next month. Writing on social media, von der Leyen said she had a good call with Trump and would need some more time to work out a good deal. Europe is ready to advance talks swiftly and decisively, said the president of the European Commission, which conducts trade policy for the 27-nation bloc. Europe has also threatened the US with tariffs, but wants to avoid an all-out transatlantic trade war. Brussels and Washington have been trying to negotiate a deal, but Trump's patience seems to be running out, citing a $236 billion trade deficit with the European Union last year. Sachin Katwi, Cable News.
Hong Kong's external trade showed better than expected performance in April, thanks to the surging exports to the mainland and other Asian nations. According to the Census and Statistics Department, the city's exports rose by 14.7% year-on-year last month, increasing for 14 consecutive months despite a lower growth rate than March's 18.5%. Imports increased by 15.8% year-on-year, lower than expected. A $16 billion visible trade deficit was logged, equivalent to 3.6% of the value of imports of goods. Exports to the mainland saw a 23% rise, and those to Malaysia spiked by more than 61%, while shipments to the United States edged up by a modest 1%. Looking ahead, a government spokesman said the headwinds and uncertainties in the external environment have lessened to some extent, as international trade tensions have eased somewhat of late. Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day down 318 points. Top active stocks of the day. Checker Fund was down 30 cents. BYD was down $40. Xiaomi was down $1.70. Alibaba was down $1.90. On to the weather now. Overcast with sunny intervals tomorrow and a maximum temperature of 29 degrees. A trough of low pressure will head south, bringing showers and squally thunderstorms over the following couple of days. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Evelyn Bai. Thanks for watching and good night.